Hey guys, hope you guys are having a great day. We are here for the PsiX Pro Series between Starkiller and DarkZero. I am your caster Snoopy, and joining me is the other half of the Sal Loopy casting duo. It is Salvanth.
How you guys going? Long time no cast, eh, Snoopy?
Yeah, long time. Really glad that we can cast again, especially on this matchup between these two really strong players.
Yeah, well, daylight savings means it's pretty early for me, but A, it's Starkiller, and B, it's PvZ. Probably my favorite matchup to cast, so couldn't miss this one.
Yep, it looks
So
like.
what are your predictions for this one, Snoopy?
Well, I would have to say, if it was up to me, I would say Starkiller has the upper hand, especially because I think he's in strong form now. He's recently got into the WCS Challenger, and recently won our MVP Cup yesterday. So he's in a row, I think. How about you?
Yeah, I gotta agree. I'd like it to be a close run series, but I think it's gonna be 5-1 to Starkiller.
Ah,
Both of them have pretty similar MMRs at the moment, but Starkiller has been at 6k for a long time, and I think he's just had a bit of a downturn in form, and as you've established, that seems to be pretty much gone. He did beat Light in a ZVP Best of 5 series just the other day to win the MVP Cup, and Light's a really good player, a 6k European Protoss, so we'll have to see what DarkZero can pull out.
yeah.
I hope he pulls out some good stuff. I've got a match I'm preparing for next week myself, so I want to see what DarkZero does here. In the upper left, spawning as the blue Protoss, representing Psionic Aftermath, of course, is DarkZero. And in the bottom right, one of our newest acquisitions, winner of the MVP Cup, WCS Challenger NA qualified, it is Starkiller. Now we've cast Starkiller before, in the Taco Cup qualifier, a while back.
Oh wow. I actually don't remember. It's been it's been a while.
I believe he faced BioIce, another Zerg, in the finals, but I can't remember who won. I think it went down to the final game. It was a long cast, look, 5 or 6 hours, the day of ZVZs.
Ah, yeah. I mean, I actually don't remember who won, but I think I have a small recollection of it. I'm not actually sure.
So we have a pretty fast pool, but no gas coming out of Starkiller.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. He actually waited his drone at the ramp just to get enough
Yeah,
minerals.
I would have thought the probe could have gotten there in time, but apparently DarkZero decided not to do that. Gas does get thrown down now, so we're going to have to see what that fast pool is for. Might just be to stop that block of the hatch, might be for some early lings, and it looks like it is 4 early lings. So the question is, will DarkZero makes a call before the Nexus, decides to play it safe on a map like Catalyst, very short rush distance Catalyst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though I still think this is a bit too conservative. If Starkiller was doing a 12 pool, you'd really need to do this, but I don't know if you need to do this against, I believe, with a 14 or 15 pool.
Yeah, I think it's just a small pressure to make DarkZero maybe, react by delaying his Nexus and then putting like maybe some shield batteries or a second gateway. And I think maybe there's a possibility he might actually transition to roach pressure, but we'll see in just a second.
Yeah, and in the end, whether DarkZero squeezed every last bit out of the defense or not, he's still in a decent position. But this gateway is taking a lot of damage. Oh, and he brings out the Zealot. I always like to put a pylon or a shield battery behind that wall before setting up the Zealot, but I'm not as good as these guys are. I don't trust my micro as much as they do. Stargate forced to go down at the front because the second pylon was thrown down at the main to help protect the wall. And the Adept goes out for that very important scouting.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get that Adept to scout, see if there's any follow-up aggression, like maybe Bailing Bus or even Roach. So this will be a really good need to scout, and also will be able to see the third.
Caught. Looks like the Adept will get away, but we'll see the third base.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going. I don't think it saw the drone line.
Yeah, didn't see the drone line.
It did not.
Yeah.
So currently, DarkZero's got to be a bit worried right now. He's playing entirely in the dark. He's not up against an all-in, but he does not know that, and he needs to get in and find out.
And it looks like he will be doing another secondary shade into the natural, and we'll get scout of the drone line there.
We'll breathe a bit of a sigh of relief on seeing that nice healthy drone count at the natural for starkiller.
Yeah, in the meantime, Oracle's on the way for DarkZero, but I think starkiller did see it. Yeah, he did see it, and we'll have the spore just up in time.
Phoenix first to deny scouting is the standard these days, but because that Adept didn't get in at first, that meant that DarkZero needed to make an Oracle in order to stay alive against any sort of aggressive attack. So, already starkiller throwing his opponent a little bit off, but nothing they can't handle. Ooh, goes in a little bit deep for that. It doesn't get a drone actually. Good pullback from starkiller. And there'll be some damage on that Oracle, and just gets some lava. And I don't think it's going to kill this hatch. Oh no, it's another drone from Spore Crawler, so it's getting some decent damage done. Gets 2 drones total, but then runs out of energy. Not a bad Oracle. As the Phoenix starts to clear away the Overlords, the second one will come in, see what's going on. But there's nothing too exciting going on. Going up to 3 gates, getting the Robo, getting the other 2 gases, perhaps a little bit late. And slightly delayed third at base. Normally you want to get that about 4 minutes 30 into the game, depending on how fast you're teching up. But with 3 gates and 1 tech building, I think DarkZero would have liked to have this up a little faster, but doesn't quite feel safe to do so.
Yeah, the Overlord for starkiller does go into the main base, just get one last scout before its death. Does see the Robo, but doesn't see much else, and I don't think he will be able to see the Twilight Council and the Forge going down. But just
look at that. That's some really great positioning on that probe right there to protect it from the marauding Zerglings of starkiller.
Oh yeah,
that was nice. Does get the third up a bit later than intended, but going for heavy tech, going for a Twilight and a Forge off 2 bases before taking that third base. Choosing to settle in for the later game with upgrades.
yeah.
Ooh, and +1 and Glaives. That's an interesting choice. Usually when you see Glaives, you don't see it this late. So I wonder what DarkZero might have planned for that. Gonna try and lift up one of the Queens, perhaps. And there's nothing here to defend, really. There's only a few Roaches that are now just streaming out. First Queen will go down. The Adepts kind of want to be targeting drones at the moment, but they will get this Queen. And here come the Roachling, but how many Adepts are still going to survive? Quite a few of them. 5 drones already going down.
And delaying mining time as well.
Getting some good damage done, yeah, but more and more Roaches streaming across with just Glaives and +1 weapons. It might be difficult to hold the counterattack with only a single Robo. So I think that's what starkiller is going to be looking for, getting root speed. Probably going to look to try and hit a counterattack, or perhaps not, getting 9 drones, going up to like 70 or so drones very quickly.
Yeah, that's usually the most common counterattack after a depth attack like that. The Zerg player is forced to make a lot of roaches, and they will just counterattack, and that's usually the reason why Robo is the next follow-up for the Protoss, just to get them more, just to at least stay alive.
Yeah, you usually do see double Robo, in fact, to prevent stuff just like this. We don't see any shield batteries at the third base. We do see some Immortals and some Sentries. We've got 5 gates on the way, but I don't think they're going to be done quite in time. This is a good timing from starkiller indeed. Not even any probes being produced. DarkZero knows he's in trouble.
Yep.
But I think he's going to be able to hold with this with decent force fields.
Yeah.
And starkiller knows it. Just backs away. Roach speed is not done. +1 is not done. Hydra's on the way. But still starkiller in a good position. Taking that 4th base. Got a good drone count. DarkZero forced to slow down on the count of workers.
That's pretty impressive. Considering he lost 9 drones, he's still pretty ahead in drones.
Yeah. Still in supply, and DarkZero is moving out again, but I don't know if this is a good move. There's a lot of Hydralisks. Well, the Roaches are out of position, they are coming back, but if these Roaches and Hydras manage to come together, 14 Hydras plus all these Roaches, there's no way this gateway-based army is going to be able to do anything. Charge is good, but Charge is not even being produced. It is going to be Glaives as the move of choice. It looks like this is not quite an all-in attack, but it has to get damage done. Glaives is not the kind of tech you want for the late game. Good force fields go down, but unable to quite capitalize on it.
Almost had it.
Good biles.
Yeah.
Starkiller is getting higher and higher supply, getting that Roach Hydra. Roach +1 and Roach Spine's about to finish. I don't think this is going to be able to kill Starkiller.
Oh, but that's a nice
some
force
great
field.
force fields, yeah, definitely. A lot of force fields used, but the army's starting to get cut off. It's starting to get cut into little pieces. You're going to see presumably another wave of Gladepts. Ooh, that corrosive bile smashes into the army. We'll get a couple of Hydras as they try and join the rest of the group. And we will see. DarkZero's army lacks longevity, but what it has is power right now. It's doing a lot of damage, and there are basically no Roaches left to protect the Hydras and the Ravagers from these Adepts.
Oh, but there's no more force field left for DarkZero here.
That's right. He needs to go in, and he needs to go in now. Will he have enough?
Oh, drones being pulled.
This is so close, but I think Starkiller's just going to take this. 4 drones down, that's a reasonable trade, and all of the army of DarkZero will get cleaned up. There's 8 more Gladepts, but that's, I think, throwing good money after bad at this point. Starkiller even splitting up, ready for the Gladepts. Shade in. More and more Gladepts being made. DarkZero is committed to this, but I don't think it's going to work anymore. Starkiller has held. And is now moving to stream across the map, but realizing that more Gladepts are showing up. Some good damage getting done now, but I think it's just a little bit too late. Lurkerdown on the way, 12 more drones. Charge only just now started for the Protoss player. No 4th base in sight, no 4th base possible with just Glaives.
Yeah, and I don't think he has anything to defend against this counterattack at the third of the Protoss.
No, it is not. No, a warping of 8 charge lots would defend against this, but there are no charge lots because there is no charge. And already, 7 probes going down. That little counterattack doing almost as much economic damage as that entire army of DarkZero managed to muster. 70 drones to 52. Not quite where you want to be as the Protoss. Starkiller, with a bit of a poor rally, loses some forces, but will retreat back.
I wonder if it would have been the better decision by DarkZero to just go for the 4th instead of the 3rd. He had open path to it without any resistance.
That's a pretty good point. That might have been a good move.
Yeah.
This Gladept pressure is doing well though. It's gonna split off some units. This 3 heading to the natural are gonna get cleaned up. But actually, ooh, the Gladept's not quite target firing, won't get anything there.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. He's trying to do all these adept harass, but you know, Starkiller's like still up like 14 workers.
Yeah, the Gladept harass is starting to get some stuff done. It is keeping Zerg back. What I'm worried about is the longevity for DarkZero. No 4th base, no going towards higher tech. It's going to be just Immortals and Charge Lots. Is there even a Templar Archives out? It's only just now starting now. And against Hydras, you want that Storm, you want those Archons. This Lurker-based force is going to be very threatening. I think with +2 attack, with muscular augments, with a few Lurkers, I think Starkiller's going to attack again, maybe with a maxed out force. And I don't know what DarkZero is going to be able to do about it. Yes. DarkZero still hasn't been able to take a 4th base. This is a pretty low econ game, all things considered from both sides. No 5th base from Starkiller, but I think Starkiller's not taking the 5th, not because Starkiller can't, because Starkiller has no need. But then, there's no real presence on the map for Starkiller either, so Starkiller doesn't quite know that DarkZero has no 4th base.
I think Starkiller is just attacking up to the Lurkers and probably doing a timing attack like right now, as his
that would be it.
his upgrades
maxed
are
out
about to finish.
+2.
Yeah.
And this is going to be devastating. There's no Storm. There's a decent Immortal count, but not a huge immortal count, not that really scary 8 to 10 immortals that deal with lurkers so well. But one lurker will go down straight away, but it's just not enough. There's 7 more waiting in the wings. There's only one observer, but there is no overseer with this army, so that overlord, that observer is going to stay alive for the whole fight.
Oh, but Starkiller just kind of threw some of his army there, fighting without the lurkers. Finally, he's gonna move up the lurkers
still
there.
up like 70 supply, and
Yeah.
oh man, these lurkers just melt anything that gets close to them. I think this third base is going to be forfeit, and if this third base goes down, so do DarkZero's hopes in this game. 13, 14 probes already going down, and I think Starkiller is just going to take this one. Even brings over the Overseer, snipe the Observer potentially.
Yeah,
And Starkiller smells blood in the water, just going to keep on moving forward. Getting a nice arc, knowing that eventually DarkZero has to push into him.
Ooh,
2 Archons on the way, but there's so many lurkers. There's going to be a dozen lurkers, and nothing to really stop them. 4 immortals is not enough against this. This is an early mid-game army against a late mid-game army right here. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Oh, I like this double prong or double concave.
Oh, this flank is going to be very, very nasty.
Yeah.
Though it could actually turn awry for Starkiller, because half the army is not going to have the protection of the lurkers, but I suppose if you just do this, it doesn't matter. Starkiller is not even fighting with half the army, and it doesn't matter.
You just come with in with the other half.
That is just brutal. And that is GG.
Starkiller will take up with go up 1-0 in this best of 9.
Pretty strong first performance.
Yeah, I have to agree too.
DarkZero just wasn't where he needed to be in that game after that failed Gladep push. Which did look a bit scary for Starkiller at some stage of the game. Looked like DarkZero might have been able to push through it for a bit. But in the end, Starkiller good enough. Fends it off. DarkZero selecting Acid Plant as the next map. Interesting choice. Very good for Starkiller's multitask. Very good for that Roach Hydra, split your opponent up in multiple positions type of style that we saw Starkiller look at potentially doing this game with the flank. What server were we on before?
Not sure.
Okay, that's what I had mine set on before the game started. No one told me to change it up, but I've changed mine to Central now.
Alright, so we're just gonna remake the party. I'm just gonna give everyone a second to go to US Central and then
So what do you think DarkZero's best shot is, given what just happened?
you know what? I feel like his build was a little bit unsynced, because his adept attack was hit just like way after or way before the glaives finished, so it's kind of a little weird to me. I think he might have like just forgot to make the Twilight or something. I don't know, maybe
Twilight at a good time. Even before the third base, remember?
well you made the it was, I think the build was supposed to be Stargate, Orko, and then into Twilight and then Robo, or but he made just Robo and then he made the Twilight and the Forge like way later. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been. That was the initial plan. Starkiller did throw him off a fair bit with the opening, with the moving Zerglings. Perhaps DarkZero's level isn't quite prepared for that level of essentially map control that Starkiller had early on.
But we'll see.
Doesn't look like much, but it's a totally different thing when you're the one facing it.
Yeah.
when you're looking at that dark map and knowing that anything could be out there. You can feel the force for good Zerg on that map. Especially on this map, Acid Plant.
Oh yeah.
Very difficult to hold on to 3-4 bases. When you get to 4 bases, you're in trouble on this map as a Protoss. We'll see if DarkZero can do it. In the upper left, spawning as the Zerg. 1 game up in this series, looking to go 2 up, looking for a decisive lead. It is Starkiller. Doing an extract trick. And in the bottom right, representing Protoss. 1 game down, somewhat outmatched, but not done. Far from down and out. Series is far from over. It is DarkZero.
Alright, so we see something deviating in terms of the build. Starkiller not going for that fast pool, which is pretty smart because I don't think Acid Plant is as close as Catalyst is between you and your opponent.
17-17 though, which tends to be an aggressive build. Doesn't have to be, but often does lead into aggressions and all-ins. Perhaps just doing it to avoid that hatch block, which DarkZero is now doing. But it seems that Starkiller is not interested in the standard hatch first play. We'll send a hatch. We'll send it down now. But, oh, that was almost synced just for when DarkZero would have given up on that. I think that was the plan. DarkZero gives up on it, decides, alright, I need to scout the main, then suddenly the drone comes down. Not quite in the right timing, Starkiller will have to take the 3rd base instead. Pylon gets cancelled, as it should. And again, DarkZero going for the Cybercore and a 2nd pylon before the Nexus, so it looks like Starkiller has successfully mind-gamed DarkZero, but you absolutely don't have to do that on Acid Plant against a 17-17.
Yeah.
DarkZero is totally overreacting to this after what happened in the first game.
So, I don't know. I feel like a little bit win here and there for both sides. You know, DarkZero did block the second, the natural. So, the drones will have to travel a bit further to start mining. But then on the other hand, with the mind game of Starkiller, forced DarkZero to have a later Nexus himself.
Ooh, that hatch almost misplaced, actually. But gets cancelled in time and the probe doesn't manage to block the 3rd base. Pair of Lings, think about skimming across the map, their side otherwise. That Overlord's there getting all the scouting that Starkiller needs. Because the Stargate is forced to be thrown down at the front to help defend against the Lings that aren't even coming. Starkiller with a bit of a lead.
Yeah, he will be able to prepare for the Oracle waiting time, and the spores will be up, I assume.
Yeah, the Oracle doesn't really get damaged on these, but oh, these drones are actually very exposed. There's no queen, there's no drones to defend them.
Oh.
Spore does go up in time. Good movement by Starkiller, but overall this Adept denying a lot of mining time and does snipe an Adept, but will lose the Adept for the trouble. But overall, not a bad Adept. Gets the scouting needed, sees there's nothing up, sees the drones being made, snipes one, gets some lost mining time. These Lings will start going across the map, making their presence known, making DarkZero think twice about moving out. And retreating before they even take a shot.
Yeah, it looks like just transitioning into the standard game now. Spores will be going down just as soon as the Oracle just pops out. But he's looking like he's not even gonna go across the map. He's just waiting at the front just to see if there's any shenanigans that the Zerg is up to.
Here's a question for you. Do you think DarkZero is playing Oracle first as a standard play, or do you think this is a response to the way Starkiller seems to have been playing this series out so far?
I feel like it's a standard play for him because I think that's the most common PvZ build nowadays. Now what's been uncommon but now common these days are the double Stargate into Phoenix, which it looks like DarkZero will be going into. So we'll see how much damage you can do with the Phoenixes.
Gets a couple drones, but that Oracle is going to get trapped. We'll need to get recalled out of there, I think, if it wants to survive. Phoenix first is actually the more standard play these days out of the Stargate, just to deny scouting and such, but it's not as safe as the Oracle first. But it is a pretty recent metagame change. Not everyone might have adopted it yet, but we are seeing that second Stargate that you just mentioned. So it looks like we are going to be seeing some mass Phoenix play out of DarkZero.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Ooh, but these Lings will catch this probe. There is nothing there to defend.
Yeah.
Nothing there to help that third base. Starkiller just seems to be a step ahead so far. And I think they're going to get this other probe too. Oh, nope, Starkiller's not quite on the ball there. Could have had the chance to snipe that one too, but did not see what we see. Does not see all. That Oracle still just sort of stuck between the natural and the third base.
That would have been
nice to see
devastating.
a stasis ward out of that. Oh, these Adepts trying to move out. And these Lings do see one of the Phoenixes coming out, so I think they might have an idea of what's going on if Starkiller was paying close attention.
Yeah.
And we are going to see a swell of roaches coming out from Starkiller. Do you think this is going to be an attack on the third, or do you think that Starkiller might not have read the situation 100% correctly? That Phoenix was only spotted for just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think it will still work out for Starkiller because Phoenix not the best answer for roaches. Roaches are pretty beefy, so if he has a lot of Phoenix and not a lot of ground units, then it'll be kind of hard to hold the third. So I think it'll be best for Starkiller to do a timing attack.
Phoenixes have this sort of strange relationship with roaches where they are very effective in terms of damage per lift, but not very effective in terms of damage per second. They take a very long time to kill roaches, but they can kill them very efficiently because it doesn't take much energy, whereas for Lings, they can kill them pretty much instantly, but they don't have enough lifts to lift even half of them. This Oracle will just follow these roaches around, not even bothering to use the Revelation. I like that a lot. And the Phoenixes are starting to move out on the map. Remember, I was talking about damage per second versus damage per lift. Moving out across the map and meeting the roaches as they try and go across the map is the best way of making up for this deficit with the Phoenixes, and all of this energy is going to get spent by the time the roaches get across the map, which means it's a very efficient way of dealing with it. But it looks like on the back of these roaches we're going to see Corruptors coming out of Starkiller, which is a fairly recent metagame. I think that overall Starkiller is just a bit more on the ball in terms of the metagame changes in recent PvZ. We do see this Roach Ling starting to flood in. Oracle will defend. I think DarkZero, though, is in a really good position to defend this Roach Ling aggression. We'll lose. Actually, these Lings are just starting to flood around. If this third base goes down, this is going to be terrible for DarkZero.
Oh, it's definitely going down.
I think it will be.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. The Oracle not targeting Lings, but I don't think it would have mattered even if it was. 6 more Spore Crawlers going up for Starkiller after taking out that third base. Okay, I don't need to worry about being ahead economically, I just need to worry about these Phoenixes crippling me. And presumably we'll be going into Corruptors after this. Well, a few Roaches still with this army does a lot more DPS to this wall, but DarkZero manages to hold. But it was the third base that he really needed to hold.
Yeah, like I said, it's just really tough when you got a bunch of Phoenix versus a bunch of Roach, and especially with Lings added to it.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I would have thought this was going to turn out really badly for Starkiller, looking at them moving across the map, but in the end it turns out well, because as you said, that many Phoenixes means you don't really have a ground force, and we are seeing 6 Corruptors coming out. And now we're going to see a bunch of Lings to try and deny this third base yet again, and I think they might just succeed.
Oh, but
9 Corruptors.
The army is kind of tucked really nicely on the third, so
it is. But I was thinking those Zerglings might have just been able to attack, just kamikaze onto the third base, but there are a lot of force fields there, so that could probably have denied that.
Yeah. Looks like DarkZero will go for the counterattack, try to get some damage done on the other side of the map. Will get the Queen. Oh, but the Corruptors just pops out just in time.
1 Corruptor does go down, but these Phoenixes are getting hunted down. These Corruptors barely tickled by the Phoenixes, although if there's enough Phoenixes around, it won't matter. Great movement by the Corruptors too. A lot of damage going down onto these Phoenixes. Look at the units. Oh, actually, looking at the units lost tab, it's actually very good for DarkZero, but that doesn't tell the full story because his third base is not up. Starkiller can afford to take 4 trades. Ooh, does snipe a Corruptor, does DarkZero, but cannot deal with the mass of Corruptors. And there's really nothing except the Phoenixes that attack air. So these Corruptors, if they can take out the Phoenixes, or at least just keep them back, they can start attacking buildings with impunity.
Oh
And I think
yeah,
that's exactly what's going to happen.
that's really annoying to deal with as a Protoss.
Oh yeah, that caustic spray. People seem to be moving away from double Stargate Phoenix a little bit because of this defense. I saw it in GSL. It's very effective there. I think it's going to be very effective here as well. But the caustic spray is interrupted by the Phoenixes. But the problem is the Phoenixes can interrupt the caustic spray, but they just can't fight the Corruptors head on.
Yeah, and it looks like Starkiller is going in for the Ling attack, but there is gonna be a bunch of Archons, so we'll have to back out.
Yeah, DarkZero is just under so much pressure from these roaches, these lings, these corruptors. The corruptors just sort of flying around doing whatever they want. Is that Nautosis pylon powering those robos? Or I think that I'm not sure if that pylon to the north is actually powering them or not.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but DarkZero's army is out of position. It is going for an attack. I don't think we're going to see a base trade with Roach Ling because Roach Ling is such a mobile army, but actually it looks like we might. Neither side wants to turn around, and here we go. Caustic spray being spread out among all kinds of different buildings, getting all the damage it can. Oh, great wall in from DarkZero. Look at that. So many Lings are just not doing anything. And this is actually a really good move from DarkZero, all in all.
Yeah, but
Splitting up his army, attacking 3 bases at once. Oh, but these Phoenixes are going to get taken out by these Corruptors. The Phoenixes need to move away right now, but DarkZero is just focusing on so many different locations. The Lings flood in. There's only one Archon. Will the force fields be enough? There is no storm. The Immortals and Archons look like they're going to stay alive. The Archon lives!
Oh my god.
GG! Oh my god, beautiful decision making from DarkZero.
Wow.
Takes the game off Starkiller. I was worried this might not be a series, but it is. DarkZero proving, no matter what, he can bring the heat. I thought he was totally dead.
I thought so too.
I basically misjudged every aspect of this game.
I know, right? I mean,
When
after
Starkiller was moving across the map, losing all those roaches, I thought Starkiller's in serious trouble. Then he killed the 3rd. Then I thought, okay, DarkZero's dead. But then DarkZero's like, no, I'm not. I'm just going to attack you. And Starkiller fell prey to the same problem. He had the Lings, he had the Corruptors, but didn't really have a robust ground force to combat DarkZero's army. It's a real knife's edge, this Phoenix versus Corruptor game.
yeah, for sure. Wow, that
Starkiller
base
focused
trade
a
was
little too
probably
much.
I think the best decision for DarkZero.
It was the only decision that could have won him the game. He was
Yeah.
so far behind.
True.
Starkiller was just so focused on a harass-based force of Ling Corruptor that he didn't really have the backbone that he needed to fight the army.
Mm-hmm.
We now go to the 2v2 part of the show match. Oh.
That
We
would
got
have
to
been
play
fun.
with our
but-
series players.
yeah, we can't.
Caster and player versus caster and player.
That would have been really interesting.
Can you imagine forcing these players to play with us, though? That's just cruel and unusual punishment for these guys.
Oh man, they'll be like, what are these guys doing?
We're 7 minutes in. Why don't you have a 3rd base? Like 2v2, I don't know how 2v2 works. Darkness Sanctuary. An interesting choice, chosen by Starkiller. So in the upper left, spawning as the Blue Zerg, representing Zergs everywhere. WCS challenger Zerg. 1 game down now. Series tied up by DarkZero. It is Starkiller. And Darkness Sanctuary is his map pick. In the bottom right, spawning approximately 30 minutes away from Starkiller, cross-spawned on Darkness Sanctuary. It is the purple Protoss. It is DarkZero. So, PvZ on Darkness Sanctuary. I've heard some different things about it. A lot of Protosses do not like it because of the wide ramp, and also because it can be difficult to expand past those 3 or 4 bases. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at Darkness Sanctuary, 4-player spawn map, brings you back to the Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm days, where you gotta send 2 probes out just to scout if there's any rush coming. Although I think he's just gonna be confident that he's not gonna get rushed by Starkiller, so he's gonna send out only 1. But it looks like Starkiller on the other hand, he's got a fast pull here, getting link speed already. So he chose this map just for just reason. I think he had this planned already.
Yep, that seems likely, but how's he going to scout where it is? He's not. He's going to have to send his Zerglings to the, presumably the southwest position first, and this will be scouted out. But did DarkZero see the gas? He did see the gas, only just, but hopefully he saw that there were no drones on it, saw that speed was already on the way. Good wall off by DarkZero being prepared already. I don't know if this speedling attack's going to get much done, but it looks like starkiller has guessed correctly, sending one Zergling to confirm that there is nothing at the southwest, while sending the rest of the drones of the Zergling to cross spawn.
Yeah, but looks,
so that's good for him.
Yeah, the good thing is for starkiller is not all in, so he's gonna transition out of this into the mid game at least.
It's pretty all in. He's got 14 drones to 22 probes already.
Oh, actually, oh wow, I did not notice he made that many links.
Yeah, well, it was a very, very fast set of links, and this adept's going to come up in time. I'd like to see a shield battery or something.
Oh, almost say that.
There it goes. But it looks like this Cyber Core is going to go down in the end. And a Stargate, that's not what you want at this point in the game. You're in serious trouble. Builds the gateway just in time, but there will be no more adepts. If he needs to build a pylon to fully wall off against those speedlings.
Oh, that Zella is about to die. He needs to block
will the
off.
adept manage to get the wall?
Wow.
Oh, it does!
Wow.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, I try that 10 times and it fails 11 times.
I know, right? In the regular game, if you wall off like that, like you would automatically think the Zergling would just run past it, but wow.
I've seen Zerglings run past adepts that were just perfectly standing still, let alone moving ones. Jeez, what's
Yeah.
DarkZero's secret? But it looks like, with no Nexus until just now, it looks like starkiller is going to transition after all. He was kind of all in, but managed to get some decent pressure, decent damage done. Good hold from DarkZero, but the game will go on.
Now the
And so
Oracle...
shield battery being made from DarkZero. Starkiller's just trying to sell that he's continuing on with this rush when he's really not.
Oh yeah, he's just droning for days here. 3 drones about to pop out as well. Oracle does pop out for DarkZero, and he will be sending that across the map, which forces Starkiller to actually waste some more drones, making those spore callers, unfortunately.
Well, I certainly wouldn't call it a waste of drones, given what will happen if they aren't there. So about waste, the Oracle can lay waste to a mineral line. I've seen it, I've lived it, it's not pretty. I do offer as a Zerg, especially in ZVP. I like the ZVP matchup.
Yeah, same here. That's probably my favorite matchup to play as a Zerg off racer.
Do you just do all the things that you hate having done to you as a Protoss and get some catharsis?
Oh yeah.
Just harass everywhere with everything.
Just
bust them down with roaches off 3 bases and 40 drones.
Or even like Baneling drops or something.
Baneling I should try that. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, ZVP is a very cool matchup from both sides.
For sure.
Shield and sword. Especially in the mid game, you've seen some of the multi-pronged aggression that people at GSL are doing these days. It's like, what really gets me is it's so standard. Like, you will see, say, I don't know, like for instance, Classic versus Reyna. If you saw that match, Reyna was hitting in like 3 places at once, and Classic was defending, and the casters weren't even really saying anything because it was standard at the time. It's totally standard for Zerg to split up into 3 forces at once, hitting like the 3rd and hitting the 4th and hitting the main with a drop at the same time, while the Protoss has to spread their army out and defend all 3 locations at once, and that's just like how mid-game PvZ looks nowadays.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think of like, a year ago even, you'd see something like that and it would be amazing. A year and a half ago you'd see it and it would just straight up win the game, and it'd be like, wow, this is one of the best Zergs in the world, what could Protoss have possibly done against that? And now it's just Tuesday.
I know. Imagine if that play was being, done in like Wings of Liberty days. He would have been considered the god at that point.
Exactly. It's amazing. Like, the Hydralisks and such weren't really a thing back then, but I think the main thing that made it possible in Legacy of the Void was the extra bases. Because back then, like, you wouldn't see roaches and such able to attack a 4-base Protoss. By the time you got a 4-base Protoss, you guys have already maxed 2 or 3 times in Wings of Liberty, and you're probably at like the Broodlord versus Colossus type of stage of the game. Wings of Liberty was weird.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And we have a lot of Ling Bane for Starkiller. Not going for roaches, not even going for Hydras, just getting +2 melee as well. You think we're going to see some of those Baneling drops? I think that would be a nice thing to see with this fast +2 melee.
Yeah, that would
Ensuring
be
that the
nice.
Banes can one shot per. And we do see Overlords in the area. So I think it's something that we might see later on. In the meantime, we got DarkZero spreading out Zealots everywhere, even sending some into the main base, trying to get some damage done. We've got basically a pure charge shot against pure Ling Bane. This is kind of a weird game. Actually, this is just a straight up all in from DarkZero. I've been so just focused on the weirdness of how this game started that I didn't realize DarkZero had not taken a third.
Yeah, he's actually pulled probes off of gas, so this is pretty much all in here.
Yeah, it's a standard charge order, and it's just hitting a couple minutes later because of how the game started. But I think that with all these queens, with these lings, man, is Starkiller just going to defend this with Ling Bane? Wow. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, I know you can do it against me, but I didn't know you could do it against someone of DarkZero's caliber, you know? But the third base is starting to take some damage, but oh, not quite. This Oracle will go down to the Queen, will it? It's a very close battle, but yep, the Queen does take up the Oracle. And all of these Zerglings not going to trade too well with the Zealots, but they are going to trade in the end. And I think Starkiller is going to defend against this. Has opened very strongly, forced DarkZero to go for this all-in. Unable to take a third.
I mean, that's pretty impressive to just hold with just Baneling against Charglot.
Yeah, and that's it. GG. Starkiller will take it. I've got to pay closer attention to what's going on in these games. We were just talking about how much fun it is to play ZVP, and we're missing the ZVP right in front of us.
Well, Starkiller will be going up 2-1 in this best of 9 series. This is a sponsored event by Africa, and so shout out to them for supporting StarCraft in general.
If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here right now. DarkZero chooses 16-bit, a very defensive map.
Yeah, but it does have that pocket expand, so really a lot of macro games that comes out of that, just because it's an easy dirt and easy natural as well, so I expect it to be pretty much a macro game here.
Yeah, and it indicates that DarkZero is probably pretty confident in a macro game against Starkiller, which is an interesting thing to note.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta actually check if we actually were in the US Central server. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, makes sense. So what do you think we're going to see out of DarkZero this game? We can discuss it when the game starts and when the intros are done, because we are getting into this game.
And we can't ignore your epic intros and stuff.
Of course not. In the top right, representing the Zerg in this PsiX versus PsiX battle, 2 games up after a very strong opening, holding that all in, it is Starkiller. And in the bottom left, a game down, looking to even up the series. It's his map pick. What will he do with it? It is the blue Protoss DarkZero. So, I just gonna hold that thought. You can feel free to drop it on us again. What do you think DarkZero is going to do this game?
You know, I'm just gonna say he's gonna go for a standard gate into Expo, and then he will probably might do an Archon drop type of play, maybe.
Archon drop is good on this map. I like that. It's got that natural is very well defended against ground attacks, but has a lot of airspace for the Warp Prism to dive in and out.
Yeah,
that would make sense as a play, and then just go into a macro game from there. Defend that third. Starkiller clearly likes to split armies up, do some attacks with roaches. That won't really fly on 16-bit.
Oh, it looks like DarkZero trying to fake little cannon rush here, but I think Starkiller knows it's just a little tactic scare.
Not gonna buy it. You at least have to throw down a pylon to sell that. Come on, DarkZero.
Yeah.
And we are gonna see a 3 hatch before pull from Starkiller.
I like this.
Yeah, it makes sense on 16 bit. We'll have to see if DarkZero wants to put on some pressure, probably with the early adepts, to see if he can get anything done with that, or if he just wants to let it go and accept the 3 hatch before pull. There's not really a ton you can do to punish this if you're not going for aggression yourself. It's kind of a trade-off, really. It actually, funny enough, with 3 hatch before pull, you actually get less drones early on, but you get faster queens for more lava and for better air defense.
Yeah.
It's not really a choice where it's like 3 hatch before pull. It's like, oh, you're playing super greedy and economical. It's really more just a trade-off with slightly more economy. So as we found out in that ZVZ fest a few months ago, taking that 3rd base actually means you have a few less drones for a while.
Oh yeah, because you know, you don't have enough as much minerals just to make drones and stuff. But you know, as you said, as the game goes on later on, you kind of get more and more drones because of the larva.
Yep. And it's interesting that these drones are being sent towards essentially the 3rd base location and not the natural location, but I think that's because Starkiller knows this is not a map for ground attacks early on, it's more of a map for air attacks, and so the less drones that are at that vulnerable natural base, the better.
Oh, looks like we have a adept gonna go shade in. Will he finish? Nope, he actually canceled that in the last second. But let's get a little bit of an idea of what the drone line is and the drone count.
Yeah. I wonder if it would have been a bit of a mind game to put those drones at the natural base and deny scouting them. Oh, this adept will get... Will it get a drone? That is the question. It will. It will scout in there. It will see nothing too untoward as up. Only gets 1 drone, but will scout the 3rd base.
Oh, but gets killed by the queen.
Doesn't quite get out. So we're going to have to see what the Protoss wants to do from here. Another double Stargate.
Oh, he actually cancels it. He saw the
yeah,
Overlord.
sees the Overlord on the way, so decided to, nope, we're not going to do that. But now the question is, what will DarkZero do instead? Still no gases, actually. And we'll throw up the 2nd Stargate after all.
Yeah.
We started to see those 3rd and 4th gases out of DarkZero, so that's pretty interesting. I'm wondering when we're going to see that.
But the Lynx comes in and scouts everything and
gets
them.
Oh, they see everything. Just not quite there with that adept. It is so difficult to wall off properly with an adept on this map. On many maps, actually, these Zerglings are very slippery, coated in butter. They just slip right on by. Which is why I was so impressed at that Hold on Darkness Sanctuary where that adept actually moved in to defend. I did not think that was going to make it.
Yeah, same here.
Because often it is so hard, even with a perfectly stationary adept, to keep that thing going. Every Protoss has lost a game to a run by where they could have sworn the adept was there, it was at hold position, but the Zerglings just start sliding on by.
And it's like the
not
only
a good way to do it. Not a good way to die.
Only time in in life where you actually want something to be fatter. You're like, why can't it be just like a bit fatter, just to at least block all these links from coming in?
Gotta take those adepts off their exercise regime.
Yeah.
Give them some complex carbs. Feed them on some pasta. Let them watch some TV.
Get some pizza.
Exactly.
Oh, we actually see something really unique here. We actually see double Hydra.
Double Hydra Den.
Interesting.
That is, yeah. We've got a lot of minerals for Starkiller, but we also see 6 gases, so this could be some sort of mass Hydralisk type of play. Like I said, the only reason to make 2 Hydra Dens is to get both those upgrades really fast, and we know that they're both made at the same time at the same place, so it's not a mistake. This is going to be a timing attack, and a very unique one.
Yeah, for sure.
It hits with both root spines and muscular augments, but I don't quite know about this because the Hydras are only just now making. The upgrades only take a minute each. I don't know if there's going to be a formidable force of Hydralisks out in time to make use of these upgrades. but we will see how it goes. Starkiller is a very good player. Starkiller knows what he's doing. Oh, but these Phoenixes are just positioned in a great position. Good words, Sal. But they are. It is very much true. This Spore is getting some damage done, but the Hydralisks starting to get picked off one by one. Oh, if these Phoenixes just stayed around a little bit longer, they could get some more Hydras. And every Hydra that gets taken down would really take some of the bite out of this very interesting attack.
Yeah, I think this might be similar to the big roach attack on Callus, but instead of no, not Callus, Acid Plant. But instead of just roaches, he gets the Hydralisk to at least shoot the Phoenix and mix them with a bunch of lings. And you know, Phoenix can't really lift a lot of lings, so.
Yeah, DarkZero needs to identify what's going on. Does see these Phoenixes, does see these Hydras, does snap a few of them. I'd like to see him go into Storm very quickly. Charge lots will help. He will have charge this time around much faster, which is a nice change. But overall, I don't think this double Hydralisk Den play has done quite what a Nidus network.
Oh.
He's not going to travel all the way across the map. He's not going to risk these Phoenixes sniping stragglers. He's just going to throw down that Nidus, probably not inside the base, but probably just outside the third base, and just have a ton of Hydralisks there, much faster than expected. The Templar Archive is only just now on the way.
Yeah, it looks like that Overlord is moving closer and closer to the third.
That is so many Hydralisks. Oh
yeah.
my goodness. This could be a very, very nasty attack. Only 62 drones. This is a semi-all-in attack. It needs to get damage done. It is 16-bit though. There is only one place that third can be attacked, but there's no shield batteries, there's no cannons, there's no stasis ward. And I don't think that DarkZero has sniffed out the Nidus network. He has not seen it. He doesn't know. He has no idea that this is coming. He sees all these Hydralisks. He's getting Storm. He's like, all right, these Hydralisks still have to go across the map and such. No, they don't.
Oh, the Phoenix. Oh, they're about to fly in and would have seen the Nidus, but he actually retreats there. And here we go. The Nidus pops out.
So many Queens and so many Hydralisks. And DarkZero is moving forward to attack these as they're still coming out. Good feedbacks on the Queens. Attacks with these Charge Lots, but the Charge Lots start to go down, and the Hydras, there's more and more of them coming.
Oh, but the stasis.
That is the money stasis ward. That is one of the best stasis wards I've ever seen, but he needs to buy time for Storm. He needs to attack now. Yeah, these Phoenixes can deal with small numbers of Hydralisks, but this is his one chance. Can he do it before the Hydralisks come out of stasis? I don't think he can. These Hydralisks are about to come out of stasis, and then they're going to kill everything. There's only one Immortal left, and it's going to go down. There is nothing to go back to. There's only one stasis ward. There's no shield batteries. There's no cannons, and there's just more and more Hydras flooding in. This is a very unique attack indeed. Another stasis ward gets a few Hydras, but it's just not enough. On 16-bit, the one map where you think you are safe, Starkiller proves there is nowhere you can hide from the Swarm.
The Swarm is real.
Doubling DarkZero's supply. Just more and more Hydras flooding in. The Phoenixes are not enough. The Zealots are not enough. The Immortals are not enough. The third will go down, and that's going to be it. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, says Starkiller. I don't care how big the map is. I don't care how many Phoenixes you have. I will find a way.
And with this win, he will be going up 3-1. And this, again, this best of 9. First player to win 5 will win the show match. And it looks like Starkiller is going to have a good lead here after this game. Although DarkZero is going to try and do one last counterattack.
Yeah, but I just don't see it working. I mean, we'll get some damage done, but it doesn't even matter. Starkiller could lose an entire base and all the drones at it right now and still be fine.
Yeah.
And Starkiller is retreating back with his army, which is strange because there's a Nidus network right there.
I know, right? I guess he just temporarily forgot about it.
Yeah, he used it for attack, not for defense. That is the Nidus way. It's not how we do things. It's a bit of a trade-off. We don't use our Nidus worms for defense, but we also get to shove Ultralisks into Overlords if we want to. And we both know that shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, it's like medevacs with the tanks, you know, in siege mode back in the back in the day.
Oh, that was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
We had to have the queen with the overlord with the speed overlord with the queens in it just to follow it around.
I know, right? I mean,
I'm glad I wasn't playing Zerg in those days.
in Archon mode, it would have been fun, but like, playing against is unfun. Not fun.
We have a lot of Storm for DarkZero. Looks like DarkZero is going to go for one last all-out attack, but all those Lurkers, all those Hydras, there's just no way. It doesn't matter how many Storms you have. It's not often that I say that as a Protoss player. It doesn't matter how many Storms you have.
A lot of Zerg
Usually,
would
if you have
disagree.
enough Storms, it will always work. But in this case, the Lurkers are here. There is one Observer with this. Oh, the Overseer does get sniped, so that Observer will stay alive, but... Okay, some good Storms, but... They need to be more than good. They need to be the best Storms we've ever seen in order to win this. More good Storms, but good is not great.
Oh, but that concaves. And he's only fighting with like
Yep.
almost half the
There's
half
only
his
a
army.
few tiny, weak Hydras left alive, but it's still enough. There's just nothing left for DarkZero, and DarkZero is going to be forced to tap out. GG. And starkiller goes up 3-1.
You know, your prediction of 5-1 might actually come true.
It could. Starkiller seems to be on a bit of a roll. But can he keep it up?
And we'll see DarkZero's next map. Now, there's only Redshift and Lost and Found, I think, right? That's left?
No, this Redshift, Lost and Found, and Dreamcatcher.
Oh, right.
Lost and Found, good choice. Because we've had 4 games so far and there's 7 maps in the map pool.
Yeah. And I think Lost and Found, one of the more, canon-friendly maps, I would say. So
Yeah, that's true.
we might have a chance, but I don't know. I don't think we'll actually see it, but...
I don't know if that's really DarkZero's style. DarkZero
Yeah.
so far seems to mostly kind of wanted to make that double Phoenix and try and get to a later part of the game. Starkiller just never really let that happen.
Yeah.
Though DarkZero is clearly capable of decisive action at times. It was that base trade that won Game 2, remember?
Yeah, that's
The
true.
only game that DarkZero has taken off Starkiller so far. So it looks like Starkiller is a cut above DarkZero, but DarkZero is not about to give up. Let's see if he can pull off something like Game 2, an unexpected move, some brilliant tactics, and start to even this series up again. In the upper right, spawning as the Blue Protoss. 2 games down, 2 more games, and he's out of this series. Looking to get something good. It is DarkZero. And in the bottom left, winning game 4 with a very unconventional but very effective Hydra Nidus timing on 16-bit of all maps. It is Starkiller. So I'm thinking, this map is probably DarkZero's best chance.
I would have to agree
Redshift,
too.
Dreamcatcher, very good for... Dreamcatcher is very good for PvZ, for ZVP in general, and Redshift is very good for the kind of player that Starkiller is, a highly aggressive one, but hold that thought, because we see a Forge coming up.
Oh, snap.
You were right. I would like to see him actually throw up the pylon in the last game, so we could more accurately sell this one as a fake, but there is no Overlord at the natural.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't suspect a thing. Where is that second Overlord? It's not even there.
You went for the 14-14, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. So he's going to have a very fast pool, but if he doesn't see the cannons on the way, it's not going to be fast enough.
Yeah, definitely won't be fast enough. So this works out really well for DarkZero. He can actually cannon the natural and defend with the cannon.
Yeah.
Oh,
This hatchery is going to finish.
Uh-huh.
We do see 4 lings plus speed on the way. And the Forge did go up at the natural, not at the main print F style. So this hatchery is almost certainly going to... There could be a lot of speedlings being produced. So Starkiller could try and break this position. Oh, this probe goes down. That's not what you want. But it looks like... Yeah, it looks like starkiller's gonna try and save it.
Oh, this might be really close here.
He's gonna go for it just before the thing goes down, and he's gonna go for it, and I think he's gonna save it with all these Zerglings. Oh, but the Zerglings are splitting up their fire. One cannon does go down. Will the second one go down? I think it just might. Barely. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it stays up.
Wow.
12 kills on that photon cannon. The Queen will take it out. But lots of loss for Starkiller. DarkZero with a good start in this game.
Yeah, even though he didn't take the hatch down, he forced Starkiller to make a lot of units to just kill only a pylon and 2 cannons.
Though it's worth noting that the Nexus is only just now up. So Starkiller is actually not in a bad position. If he'd lost the hatchery, obviously he'd be in a terrible position, but he hasn't.
Yeah, he can also come back, you know, later on to try to snipe that hatchery, which is actually pretty low here.
And I believe this is also a full wall off
Oh wow.
from
Yeah,
DarkZero.
this is interesting.
There's no way around that. Presumably expecting a counterattack with speedlings, because remember he didn't know if those lings were going to attack the cannons or just go attack him.
Oh yeah,
So he had to fully wall off to not die to a counterattack. So even if Starkiller had lost the hatchery, DarkZero could have lost the game if he hadn't done that. And he can always just break down that cannon when he eventually wants to get out.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's making a sentry just to help with any aggression.
So I think we see an Oracle first, so it looks like this is just DarkZero's standard play, because DarkZero I don't think is afraid right now with that cannon in the wall.
Oh.
So I think it's just Oracle first is just how DarkZero likes to play.
Oh, we actually
And we see the second Stargate yet again.
Yeah, so he's going back for that, you know, double Phoenix play. And I don't know,
Yeah, it
it
looks like
hasn't really worked out for him lately.
Well, he's 1-1 with it. It worked out in Game 2. It did some decent damage in Game 4, but that Hydralisk Nidus timing stopped him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I wonder if that Hydralisk Nidus timing is a response to Double Stargate, or if it's just something that Starkiller pulled out on 16-bit. I suppose we'll see this time around if Starkiller wants to do that again.
Yeah, but he needs to scout the second Stargate to actually start going for that double Hydralisk then.
That is very true. And there is an Overlord here. It is going to go in, and it is going to try and see it. So that Phoenix misses it, so it looks like Starkiller will see it pretty quickly.
Oh, but it's going around, skirting around to the edges. I'm not sure actually will scout the... Okay, now he changed his path. He will scout the Stargate.
And there we go. Sees the second Stargate. Knows one's in the wall. Knows one's over there. Knows it's double Stargate. Sees the Phoenix coming out. That confirms it beyond all doubt. Lair on the way. Evo Chamber on the way. So we'll see how Starkiller wants to apply. That third base is just very difficult for DarkZero to take. It's been late pretty much every game.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to actually, you know, kill that cannon to actually pop out and plot down that third base.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. He's still actually walled off.
yeah, but I think he just wants to be safe. Okay, now he's starting to actually kill that cannon.
Another 6 spores coming up from Starkiller. Looks like that triangle of spores at each base is the standard way Starkiller's decided to deal with this. And probably going to go into a Spire from here, I'd say. Because that seems to be... He seems to be doing the same thing he was going to do in Game 2. And this time, presumably going to switch into perhaps Hydralisks or something faster. In order to have a better ground army to deal with this.
The probe at the third will get sniped
Is going to go down. And it's also worth noting this third is a fair bit later from DarkZero, although he did open with a cannon rush, so 52 probes to 58, that's pretty good, but that third base really needs to go up. Oh, the Zerglings deny it for a second longer. Oh, even more Zerglings coming in, but the third will go up now. But will that actually get denied? I think it will.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be cancelled, and it is.
That's so annoying for DarkZero here.
We are 7 minutes into the game, and there is no third base even on the way.
Yeah, oh my god, more Lings coming, and we'll deny that probe again. Jesus.
Oh my goodness. This is just terrible for DarkZero. Starkiller is all over him. These Phoenixes can't even do anything because he's so focused on trying to defend this third base.
He's gonna
And the
deny one.
Phoenixes,
Oh my god.
two
Okay.
oracles on the way. He's like, all right, screw it. Forget the Phoenix. He shouldn't really. I don't think he should be bringing those Phoenixes home. They're not going to help.
Yeah.
And there is way of getting pressure on the other side of the map.
Oh my god.
He doesn't have a lot of attempts now, but another. That's actually not even a cancel. That's a kill.
Wow.
But I think finally this third base will get up for good this time. There's 2 more oracles on the way, but it's done the job it needs to. There's going to be like 8 corruptors on the way. And these Phoenixes have been at home. They haven't been doing anything. Baneling Nest on the way. Good choice from DarkZero, I think.
Oh, he's actually.
I don't know
going
about
for it
this
again.
attack though. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Talk about 8
That's-
minute now. 8
That's just
minute
not even fair. This third base is just not getting up, and there's 12 corruptors that are going to be out now. 12! One Phoenix already goes down to the Spore, plus the corruptors. And this is just a much better game from Starkiller everywhere. More corruptors. Slower third base for his opponent. Baneling Nest for Baneling speed. He's correcting beautifully for the mistakes that cost him the previous game. And as soon as his third base finally gets up, I think it's just going to get caustic sprayed right on down.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea for Starkiller here.
Yeah. You cannot actually caustic spray a building that is in production. So he needs to wait for it to be finished.
Oh wow, here we go.
Wait, you can you? I didn't think you could, but apparently you can. You can just straight up...
Oh my
kill it while
god.
it's not
No
even made.
cancel too. Jesus. man.
DarkZero is basically dead.
I know. We were talking about 7 minute, late third. Now it went to an 8 minute late third. Now it's to a 9:30 late third. This
Yeah,
third
I just don't see this third
Yeah.
ever getting up. 61 probes for DarkZero. He doesn't have anything to do with them except long distance mine.
and 27 banelings morphing here.
Yep. This is going to be a nasty, nasty attack. The Corruptors kill the Phoenixes and the Oracles. Banelings kill pretty much everything else except the Archons, which get surrounded by the Lings.
Oh, and these pesky little corruptors still doing damage at the main base, and he's going for it. He's going for another base trade.
I suppose it's his best shot, but I don't think it's going to work this time. Previously, DarkZero was the one who initiated the base trade. Starkiller was caught out of position. In this case, it's DarkZero who's caught out of position. In this case, there's a ton of Banelings, not just Ling Corruptor. More and more Lings coming in. I think that this amount of Banes is just enough to crush DarkZero and everything he has in a wave of acid.
Yeah, this 31 banelings.
Oh, these Archons getting some good hits on the Corruptors, but I just don't think it's going to do it in the end. The Phoenixes, the Oracles, they're all going to go down. That's oh my god, that's so many Corruptors. Revelation goes down, but that's just going to let DarkZero see death coming for him. More and more Archons being made very good against this Ling Bane, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think anything could possibly be enough as the Ling and Bane swoop in and nothing can survive. Look at that carnage. Oh, but these Archons actually do stand tall just about. Will they survive? They get surrounded. And they are finally going to go down, and I think that's it for DarkZero. I think he's going to be on match point. I think Starkiller is about to be on match point. GG.
GG.
That was brutal from Starkiller, just smacking this down. I don't think DarkZero can try for this again.
Yeah, I mean, Starkiller was just ahead throughout that whole game, I think.
Yep. DarkZero tried it 3 times. The first time, it worked. The second time, a timing stopped it. The third time, Starkiller played standard in a reproducible way and obliterated it. If there's a fourth time, I don't think DarkZero is going to survive. DarkZero picks Dreamcatchers, number 6. I think this would be a good time to bust out another all-in.
That's true.
At first, he's 4-1 down, and second, he's on Dreamcatcher.
Would you?
I wonder if there's anything planned for Redshift.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, would you have preferred him to go for a Redshift instead of Dreamcatcher?
I think it really depends on what DarkZero has planned. I think Redshift is a map you pick when you have something in mind for it.
And right now, down 1-4. I think if there was any other time to pull out a special build or something, it will be now.
That is true. So the fact that DarkZero did pick Dreamcatcher instead of Redshift isn't a good sign.
All right, we shall see. DarkZero is ready. Waiting for Starkiller to confirm.
Starkiller might just be using the bathroom or something.
All
Nope,
right.
he's ready to go. As we head into what might be our final game of this series. I hope not. I'd like to see DarkZero fight back, but Starkiller is just such a great player.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the early stages of the cast, he's just been on fire. He has got a lot of momentum, so really tough to defeat him right now.
Yeah. In the upper left, on match point, taking 3 games in a row, proving he knows exactly how to defend this double Phoenix style now. It is Starkiller. And in the bottom right, is he going to be a star? The one for Starkiller to kill. The blue Protoss. It is DarkZero. Fast probe going across the map. I wonder if we're going to see another attempted cannon rush, but we see another fast pull from Starkiller. He loves these fast pulls. I don't think a forge is a good idea, and he doesn't. He goes for a gateway.
I wonder actually why he went for a really fast pull. I think unless he...
I think once again he wants to get aggressive.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And we see a forge after the gateway.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Huh.
Is he
Interesting.
gonna try for like... Didn't Haas do this? Forge after gate?
Yeah. He did it in the WCS.
Yeah, but there's gonna be 6 links coming out so fast, I don't think this forge is gonna get anything done. I'd like to see him just cancel the forge, honestly.
Yeah, I think build order wise,
But he's gonna let it
Starkiller
finish.
is kind of gonna favor Starkiller here.
Yep, he's decided to just keep the forge and make a cannon to defend his base against these early links. Forge fast expand, what year is it?
Back in the days, Forge, Fast Expand. I call them the good old days.
Back in Wings of Liberty.
And even in Heart of the Storm too, I think.
Not for long, one gate expand kind of took over in the first few months of Heart of the Swarm because it put on pressure on the Zerg. Forge fast expand, the Zerg could basically just do whatever they wanted for like 8 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's true. Don't want them to just keep droning up.
Basically, as soon as one gate expand became viable with the advent of the Mothership Core, Protoss has never really looked back. I remember being a Protoss, I was so relieved to be able to do one gate expand. I just make like a Zealot and a Stalker and send them across the map and get some damage done just because I could.
Look! Oh wait, look at Starkiller's drone. He's taking the sneaky gold base here.
Oh, hello.
I mean, why not, right? He's up 4-1. Might as well take some risks.
Yeah, take a chance. Take a risk that if it pays off, probably wins you the game. If it doesn't, you still got 3 games to take it.
Yep.
And yeah, this is definitely a sneaky move. There's really no presence on the map at all for DarkZero. Again, throwing down that Stargate. And throwing it down at the natural once again.
So
The question is,
oh, go ahead.
what will Starkiller do with this gold base? It's such a far forward gold base, I don't think it's really one you want to macro with.
I don't know. I feel like if you can't get detected by it, if he doesn't, have DarkZero scout it, he can actually mine from it and just like get ahead in terms of the economic game and just.
That's true. Might be trying to just hope it doesn't get scouted. He's sending some drones to it, so it looks like he wants to mine from it while he can. He does have 30 drones, so yeah, I think this might just be sort of what we call a macro cheese. One that it's very bad for you if scouted, but he's going to just bank on it not being scouted in time. And for the first time this series, we're going to see Phoenix first from DarkZero to deny scouting. You think that means he's just changing it up, or you think it means he's trying to like deny scouting for a specific purpose?
Yeah,
He still doesn't have those gases, and he's got a Robo on a Twilight. I think he's going to go for the Charizard all in again.
Oh, he might see it too. Although I think he still probably would have, take off the gas, the probes off the gas. So I might.
He needs 100 gas, but he's taking his natural
right,
gases now.
Yeah, no, okay, yes.
Now would be the time he would want to take probes off gas if he was going to do it, but he's going for +1.
Yeah. So this might be a Archon Charizard all-in.
It could be. Although we know that DarkZero tends to take like late thirds.
Yeah. This has been like the story of the whole series, I feel.
Oh, he actually cancelled his +1 and remade it. Might be getting a bit nervous.
Okay, there we go. Templar Archive, so it's definitely going to be an Archon Charizard all-in.
Yeah, it looks like, at the very least, one of those 6-gate heavy pressure builds that we've been seeing out of, I believe, Zest lately. You get Charge, you get those 4 gates, and he's adding +1 to it because he opened with a Forge.
Oh, but looks like Starkiller is going to prepare for an aggressive attack here before...
Yeah, he's got some Ravages. There's only 1 gateway out, actually. There's these 4 more gates, 5 more gates are on the way, but they're not going to be very fast. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, this could be scary.
Starkiller just seems to just sniff this out perfectly. This is insane. Starkiller just knows. He just knows what he can get away with, and DarkZero just is completely caught flat-footed.
Oh, did not even get the force
It
field
looks
up.
like this was not a macro gold base after all. He just wanted to get aggressive with Roach Ravager Ling, and I think that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of this series. DarkZero looking great in game 2, but Starkiller just too good in the end.
Yeah, looks like that 5-1 will come true here. Oh man, all the gateways being on power 2. He can't even warp in.
There's so many Roaches, there's so many Ravages, there's so many Zerlings, and that's it. GG, Starkiller takes the series 5-1.
Wow.
Wow. Starkiller showing he's a master of aggressive ZVP.
Yeah, I mean, he's just on a roll.
Yeah, DarkZero looked good in game 2, but in the end Starkiller was just like, alright, I made a mistake. Let's just not make that mistake again. And well, we saw how well he did in game 5 against that Phoenix style. He just made it look stupid.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's a very good style, but Starkiller just knows exactly how to stop it.
Alright, so great series by both players here. I'm just gonna go ahead and actually give them some instructions.
Starkiller will win, I believe, $40 and DarkZero 10, correct?
Yep, the split it will be 40 to 10. So yeah, Starkiller will be going home with $40.
Combined with Starkiller's $112 payday from the MVP Cup, it looks like being a member of PsiX is quite lucrative for him. Glad to have him here, someone of his caliber, a WCS Challenger level player in Psionic Aftermath. Big pickup for us. And he's clearly proven that he's worth every penny.
Yeah, for sure. I feel he's like the only. I feel like he's, if I recall correctly, he's the only PsiX member that has qualified for WCS Challenger. So that's pretty awesome too, as well.
Yeah, that's true. Light's very good as well, but he's in a much more competitive region. He did take Starkiller to the 5th and final game in the finals of the MVP Cup.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Starkiller versus Light match in one of these show matches.
Yeah, that actually turned out to be a really good final. So I don't know, we might be able to set up in the future. So we'll see. I guess you'll have to tune in for that. If you if you could just follow us on our channel, you will get all the notifications as well. See when our any future PsiX Pro series. Do you have any last words before we wrap this up?
Thanks everyone for coming. We run these PsiX Pro series as often as we can, showcasing some great up and coming GMs, as well as some that have kind of already up and come, like Starkiller. and often going up against some of the best PsiX has to offer. So feel free to tune in, feel free to follow, as Snoopy has said, and we'll bring plenty more content to you.
Yeah, and once again, thank you Africa TV for sponsoring this event. Shout out to them. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time. Have a great one.